I even tried reaching Chris Brown at one time. They thought I was crazy. It is what it is. I knew I was reaching the masses. I dropped, I wasn't going to even do the industry stuff about trying to expose truth. But I think the thing that made me more upset is that they kept telling people all you need is talent. And if you got talent, you're going to be good. And I was like, why are they doing that? Why are they telling people all the time? And I just listen, sometimes you just like, I ain't going to get in it. I said this so many times to myself. And during that time, I was just getting ready to launch Blog Talk. And I just kept hearing them say, all you need is talent. And work hard. I was like, oh, man, I'm tired of this shit. And then I would hear everybody, and if you just persevere, and I'm like, oh no. So just like you can get in front of the television set and lie to these young black kids and these young impressionable Latin kids, white kids, and you lying to them, telling all, and they believe you, and then when they get in the street, they find that they're being turned out, and they found they're being molested and raped, and their mamas allow it because they're getting paid well, hush money. I gotta say something. Just like you are insinuating lies so that they'll be a part of your roster so you can take their souls, I have to debunk that. It's always been a crusade. So you go ahead and pump Satan. I'm gonna pump Yah. So there's nothing wrong with that. How you gonna get mad at that? And niggas got mad at that. Man, why you gonna fuck it up for everybody? Niggas fucking up for everybody. They telling children that all it takes is talent, and they raping these kids. So that's why I came out with the Black Masonic. So it was crappy at first. I was getting my feet wet because I was new to the videography shit. But I was like, I'm going to keep this shit popping. The first one I made, it got so many hits, it went to Bossip. Y'all remember, if they still around, y'all remember that network called Bossip? Bossip started putting it in rotation because they thought the shit was funny. I've always been a funny dude, didn't know it, but I just do things spontaneous. So Bossip started pumping it. That's how I got so much attention. And then YouTube said, who this nigga named Yash? Right? So one thing led to another. And I was like, at first I was kind of frightened. I was like, this shit might get too much exposed. I didn't think, I said, I'm a nobody. Nobody ain't gonna know the fuck who I am, but I gotta say this. So I started naming people. It's like, oh no. Ain't nobody believing it. This nigga's crazy. When I started to expose Hollywood, there was no such tapes. There was nobody doing that shit. There was only one dude that had, he worked for BT, and he was exposing Stephen, what's his name? Steven Steffens or something like that. Stephen Hill. He's a dude that likes to have sex with men, break a man before they get stardom. So he was telling the truth, but nobody really heard him. But they took a liking to myself. I said, okay. I was kind of quiet on it. And it seemed like the more I would, Black Masonic was getting played, they would debunk it. Man, that's crazy. I was like, oh, it is, nigga. So then I came with, I think the one that really put Yash Qaraah on was the Blood Sacrifice. Because doing the Blood Sacrifice film, I put names and connected the dots. And people was like, what? That's the one that hit Minneapolis. And by that time, it was it. It was a wrap. The floodgates are opened. Like I said, I always been to myself. But you cannot come on a platform and tell people all it takes is talent. And you knowing these kids being molested. Chris Brown was raped. I know it. And his mother allowed it.